Reddit spoofing and how to combat lazy models, which, if you're lucky, you might not have that many, but majority of models are just lazy. So how do we combat that? So with Reddit, everyone talks about spoofing, and I'll be real, I was never doing spoofing before. I would literally just post the same video everywhere. I wasn't actually getting any bans because my accounts that I create are secure and strong. Um, But recently creating new accounts, I've realized spoofing is a necessity now. It is needed. And I kind of explain that the process that I do. It's been working for me, been doing well. So what is spoofing? Long story short, it's basically where you can, on some subreddits, I'll say, not on all subreddits, but on some subreddits, you can be posting the same video multiple times through throwing your video into either a spoofer bot or just using Canva to do it, changing certain things, changing a filter or changing the kind of exposure or angles, and then it kind of makes it a new video. This will allow Reddit to not clock that it's the same video posted multiple times. So you can just be posting the same video multiple times. I say on some subreddits because you have to also be careful. I have a whole extensive list on certain subreddits, which subreddits have the same moderators that are active, some that aren't, some that just use, bots to help detect it and all of that sorts. That is important because if they have moderators that are actually active and look through, they can simply see that the content you just tried to spoof and it's not going to work out. If they use bots, then you can obviously use the spoofer. And yeah, that's that. So why is it needed? I kind of explained it. It's when you have a lazy model, they don't create enough content, so you just need to be able to spoof and throw the content out everywhere. And yeah, it does help a lot. When is it needed? When is it needed? It's needed most of the times in terms of on most accounts. If you have, for example, myself, if I have one main account that has 10 big subreddits on, and I'm just posting on that one, and that's the one I'm being careful with, I may not spoof content because them big subreddits, they tend to clock on. But my secondary accounts and my third accounts that I'm posting upwards of 30 times, I just spoof because I don't care about them. And I know that there's no moderation in them. So that's when it is needed. You have to be careful in bigger subreddits on your main accounts because, like I said, there are moderators that actually do clock. What spoofers to use? There's a bunch. There's, I think, Spoofeasy, something. Bit on the pricey side, so I don't even use that. Recently, I've just been using Canva. I just train a VA to learn how to do it. Reason for that is because there are some spoofers out there. I forgot what it's called, OFM spoofer bot, something like that on Telegram. I'll throw it in my Telegram. I'll put the link in there so you can get access to that. However, it's 50-50. Not all the content they spoof is spoofed right. That being said, I just use Canva. I train a VA to basically spoof the content because then I know that it's done properly. Let me know if you want. I can just create a video on what I send to my VAs so that you can just send that to your VAs and they can just do that as well. I recommend that. It's cheap. Maybe it's not cheaper, but it's just it's done right. I'd rather pay a bit more to have someone else do it my way than rely on a spoofer bot and potentially just get banned. Lazy models. We're all gonna have lazy models. Majority of my models are lazy models, and it's annoying, but it is what it is. There's certain things you can do to make them a bit more productive, but at the end of the day, when they start seeing 30k months, 40k months, 50k months, they're gonna get lazy because they're just like, oh, just let the money run in. Obviously, I've got some models that are actually smart and are productive, don't get lazy, and their income keeps going up. But then there are other models that just get stuck at a level of the 20, 30k mark, and it's just because they get lazy. Some months they create content, some they don't. However, this allows us to counteract that to an extent. And when there is a couple weeks or months that they don't create content, you can just spoof the content. There are other ways through pictures, all of that stuff, just screenshotting and all of that in the right ways that make it look non-messy, that also counteract that as well. So yeah, in conclusion, spoofing is needed, especially as Reddit has got a lot more strict. If you're like me and you had been building up accounts prior to this and you have strong accounts, you don't need to spoof as much. However, if you're building accounts from now, I would spoof all your content. And yeah, I would put a list together of subreddits that have no moderation and a kind of lower engagement, subreddits that have a lot of moderation, high engagement, and vice versa, and all of that stuff. So just so you're on top of it, and then you can just look through, okay, maybe I need to spoof here, maybe not here, and all of that sort. Yeah, that being said, hope that explains kind of how I do the spoofing and what's been working for me. And yeah, any questions, just message me over on Telegram.